Hello everybody! You know I've been having so much fun making these tiny bottles. My first one was the original Love Potion bottle, and there's a video online on how I did that. The second one I did was my Mermaid Ocean Love Potion bottle, inspired by Valentine's, but also my love for the ocean and everything in it. The third one I did was a music-inspired tiny bottle, and I love it. And one of my favorite parts about this bottle are the tiny flowers that I colored in with marker. They just came out so good. Let's see if I can get close enough for you to see it. Here it is. Look how cute they are. Now for my fourth bottle, but let me tell you just before I get into that, I've enjoyed doing these bottles so much that I'm definitely making more. So I will call this my first series of bottles because they're just great fun. And I feel like the possibilities are endless. And it's a great gift idea. They're so tiny that you literally could hang it on a tree as an ornament, or you could attach it to a wreath. I mean, they're so tiny you could put 10 of them on a table and they wouldn't take up any room. So I love them and I'm having fun with them, so I'm definitely going to make more. But I have to show you this latest one, and I don't know if you know this, but I love the color pink, and so this has pink on it, and I just want to keep it as a surprise for you. But anyway, this has pink on it. It has this beautiful, huge rhinestone in the front, and it's really old-fashioned looking, and I think that's why I love it so much. So I'm going to show it to you, and then following will be the video of how I made it. So let me get up close again with this and give you a little sneak peek of it. Let me see if I can get this to focus in here. I'm going to hide behind it so it'll focus on the bottle. So let's see, there you go. I think you can see it. So you can get a little view of it. And then there's this little person on the back as well. So, and then there's this paper flower on top, which is so pretty. There it is. And I painted a little silver on there. I hope you will enjoy watching the video of how I created this tiny bottle. The first thing I did was pick a bottle and choose the paper I wanted to work with. This bottle is a rectangular shape, but there is a curve on both sides. And also this bottle has some texture, which is fine. We just want to make sure we get enough glue on it that the glue gets in between the bumps that are on the bottle. So that should not be a problem since I usually glue the paper and the bottle. And we don't need this much, so let's cut right here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, which is wonderful. Now we crinkle, and I want to remember that this is my top. It's a little straighter, so I'd like to use this as my top. And so that I remember that, I will cut our notches in it. All right, and crinkle time. Does that drive any of you crazy that I pour the decoupage straight on my brush? I don't judge you if it drives you crazy. I know it drives somebody crazy, I just don't know who. That's all right. Okay, now I'm gonna get my bottle glued up. I have wrapped my bottle, and now while that's drying, I'm going to work on covering the top. So I'm going to measure my paper out, cut it to size, and then I will adhere it with the tacky glue.
Now while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and get some pink string. I'm measuring it out, and then I'm going to cover this string with some rose gold paint because I feel like the string, the color of it is too bright of a pink for the bottle. So the rose gold will help it to blend with this bottle color palette better. Now it's time for me to decorate the front and the back of the bottle. So I found this little label that says glycerin lotion. So I'm going to cut it out and crinkle it up and figure out where I want to place it. I also found a picture of a Victorian lady that I'd like to use. So I just cut that out, and I'm going to tear the edges so they're kind of rough, and then I'm going to use my marker around the edges to give it color but also age it a little bit. Those two pieces are ready now, so I'm going to Mod Podge them on, and I'm just using a little paintbrush to get the Mod Podge onto them, and then I'm just placing them on and pressing them down. My string is dry now, but before I adhere that, I want to touch up this little piece that I had put on there with some cream colored permanent marker just to tone down the pink marker that I had put around that embellishment. Now that that's taken care of, I am ready to hot glue my painted string onto the bottle. So I'm just going to put little dabs of glue on and then twist the string around the bottle. While that's drying, I'm going to start sanding down the top that I had glued the piece of paper on. Now it's time to hot glue this beautiful paper flower on the top of the top. There was a stem on this flower, and I simply removed it with a pair of wire cutters. I feel that's glued on securely now, so I will go ahead and put this top back on the bottle. I would like to add an embellishment, so I am choosing a nice big rhinestone to go on the front of the top of the bottle. There's a space on the bottle between the top and the actual body, and it's also above that little rope that I added. It's plain, so I'm going to just color that in with my metallic silver marker. And now I'm using my gold marker to age, distress, but add a little shine to the bottle. It'll give it a real nice antique look. You can see that I'm using my finger to apply that gold, and I just feel like it gives me a little bit more control. I can feel how much is on my finger. If I got too much marker on there, I could just dab it on paper. So for me, I just like to do it this way. Now I'd like to add a little bit of gold and a little bit of silver to the very edges of the petals on this paper flower. When I'm working with something miniature like this, I find that I really like to get into the details. Here, I'll give you a close-up of it. Now I'd like to add an embellishment to the back of the bottle. So I found this cute little Victorian-like figure, and I'm tearing that out. I'm going to Mod Podge that onto the bottle, but before that I'm adding a little pink and gold around the edges just for distressing, detailing with a little bit of color. This is such a small piece that I'm just using my finger to decoupage it on there and kind of coat around it. Here's a close-up of the back, and you can see how I put a little bit of pink and gold around that piece of paper that I tore out. Just adds a little detail to it. Here is the front of the bottle. You can see the little glycerin lotion label and the Victorian lady that I cut out. How I used marker around the edges on her too. There's that big rhinestone and the paper flower with the silver and the gold around the edges of the petal. I just love how this little bottle turned out. I hope that you've enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. See you soon.